Consent agenda items, including payment of $939,277.53.
Support.
Okay. Roll call, please. Here's Bob.
Davis,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Blount,
Yes.
Stempien,
Yes.
Yasi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to citizens from the floor. Do we have anyone who would like to come up and speak?
May I speak?
Okay. Yes, please. Just need to come up and tell us your name and your address.
A little difficult for me to remember my address under pressure. My name is Emma Clark. I live in Colonial Drive, apartment 7. I am a resident of Emily City, Michigan, and I am here today to speak on how my life has been detrimentally affected by environmental dangers, specifically water damage and mold.
Okay.
May I begin?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I found many don't consider just what might be lurking within the walls of after a burst pipe or something simple as a storm. I was a kid then, so I know I certainly wasn't. Instead, my focus was on my friendships, where I'd hide during the next game of hide and seek, and what I would draw for my next art assignment. For years, art was my passion. I had all the pieces needed to become great, the will to create, the talent, and some of you may have seen my pieces at the high school art shows. My awards hung on my bedroom walls, the very same walls that would ruin any hopes of a career involving my creativity. Being exposed to mold was the trigger for chronic illnesses that had not yet surfaced in my body before high school. As time went on, I began to notice how lethargic I was, how my knuckles pulsed with pain when I held a pencil, and how I couldn't even stand without the world around me going black. Over time, I had to put my passions on the back burner just so I could focus on my survival and education. However, even as I concentrated on my schoolwork, I still found myself faltering. At some point, I couldn't even get out of bed. My body protested with severe pain, dizziness, nausea. I remember nights where I couldn't breathe as I got out of bed and crashed to the ground instead of moving forward. Not only was this my daily experience, this was how my life began to feel as a whole. I couldn't move forward. I was trapped in my illness, and every time I tried to get help, I was dismissed by health professionals. By the time we found a doctor who ran more than the basic test, I hadn't been to school in over a month. My parents had sunk hundreds of dollars into doctor-recommended medications, supplements, treatments, and I'd been to the hospital multiple times. Then finally a new concern was presented, one no one had yet considered, mold exposure. Later that day, my mother called in the manager at the trailer park to take pictures and inspect the home. They said it would likely take a few days to be confirmed or dismissed, but 30 minutes later we'd gotten a message back. I repeat, it took them 30 minutes to confirm it as mold, and we left the next day. All I knew was fear. Winter break was just around the corner, and we were living in a hotel. What stuck with me most was going into school for my exams. I didn't know if this was the last time I'd enter that building or if it was even safe. As I worked through my midterms, my mind was distracted with thoughts such as, where am I going to live next? Would I have to switch schools? Am I the only one going through this? I now know the answer to all of these, but the worst answer of all is that I am not the only one who's experienced this. Thousands before me shared this reality, and thousands after me will have changes it made now. It has now been 1 year and 9 months since we left, and now the drywall holding my life together is soft once more. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
I actually have handouts, if that's okay.
Sure. If you can give us your name and address, please.
My name's Erica. I am at 455 Pleasant Drive, apartment 7 in Lake City, Michigan.
Thank you.
I am Emma's mom. I was here at the last meeting, and at the last meeting, I was appalled by the lack of knowledge surrounding the dangers of mold caused by high moisture and water damage within home dwellings by the building inspector. There are many species of mold, including but not limited to black mold, Streptococcus, that release toxin called mycotoxins as a defense mechanism. Mycotoxins from mold are known biotoxins. Mycotoxin toxicity possesses serious health dangers ranging from mild flu-like symptoms to life-threatening conditions like cancer, liver failure, which I was experiencing, neurological damage, and even death. So, yes, mold is everywhere. However, there are huge differences in mold behavior in its natural outdoor environment as opposed to an indoor environment. In an outdoor environment, there are many different factors that keep overgrowth in check, including other competing species as well as predators in sunlight. Mold also behaves much differently in an outdoor environment. There is an abundance of space and resources which makes mold feel less threatened and therefore reducing the amount of mycotoxins they produce to protect themselves. Outdoor mold also is in an open space and allows for ample airflow, which eliminates the possibility of exposure at a toxic level. Indoor mold, however, is far more dangerous. Space and resources are limited, which puts mold into a constant state of defense. Mycotoxins are released constantly. The particle size is so small the toxins are able to pass through building materials such as walls and spread throughout the home, infecting and cleaning the clothes, furniture, dishes, carpeting, and even the fur of pets. Within this enclosed space, the toxins build and so does a person's exposure until a point where the body can no longer keep up with the demands of clearing the toxin. This is when symptoms erupt and are given the diagnosis of anxiety, depression, fibromyalgia, IBS, POTS, asthma, epilepsy, and allergies. According to a study published in 2005 comparing the mold spore concentrations between indoor clean and indoor mold contaminated buildings in Southern California, it was concluded there were much higher spore counts in the mold contaminated buildings as opposed to the clean building and outdoors. The outdoor and clean building spore counts were roughly equal, therefore toxic exposure within a clean building is roughly the same as the exposure from outdoors. I have a copy of that study right here for you. Another point the inspector made is also very valid. Removing mold alone is not addressing the actual root cause. Mold is a symptom of water damage and high levels of moisture within organic building materials. Visual inspections alone are not adequate to determine hidden moisture and water damage areas within a home. Cities such as San Francisco, New York, and Chicago are including more stringent inspection and remediation requirements within their safe housing acts due to the increase in litigations against landlords. I urge the council to follow suit and implement a city council ordinance that would require more in-depth inspection and moisture mapping of all rental units on a yearly basis as well as between tenants. Not only would this protect the tenant's health, but it would preserve property value as moisture and water damage cause structural deterioration. Landlords who maintain healthy units also gain a better reputation and higher tenant retention. While inspections may slightly increase costs, healthier units can reduce tenant health expenses and broader public health care costs. And long-term benefits for landlords include fewer emergency repairs, lower liability risks, and stronger tenant satisfaction. The document I handed out is a proposed ordinance which would protect tenants while also protecting housing investments. I'm asking the council to consider implementing the regulations as outlined in this document. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate that. Would anyone else like to speak? Okay.
I make a second. Can we consider discussing this?
Stu, probably at commissioner time.
I swear, okay. I just want to see it put it up on agenda.
Okay. All right, do we have a guest speaker?
No guest speaker today.
Okay. So, chief. Or are you just going to talk
He's
about?
really not the department head today, he's here to talk
I'm going to talk about
the second reading.
Okay, I
the
thought,
items first.
I just thought I'd check. Okay. All right, moving on to unfinished business. If you would perhaps go to the podium to give us the report on the DPW building. Please.
So as it stands right
Could
now.
you state your name and address?
It's 260 East Borland Road, across from the fairgrounds, okay? How's that? Anyways, as it stands right now, the man doors are supposed to be coming on Friday, so then we lock things up over there. Right now, electricians are over there taking all the excess wire and stuff out of the building, so. That's what we're at point right now, and I'm waiting for Cliff to come back, so I know what day he's going to start, going to spray from the walls. So that's it, we're standing right now, that's it.
Do we know when DT might put in the new pool or when we may start doing the trenching?
Scott was supposed to let me know that, he did not get back to me, so he doesn't know yet. He was going to contact her in Lapeer to find out.
Scott is your electrician?
Yes, Scott
Okay.
Houston, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
Is there another meeting scheduled?
not yet, but there will be, I'll call for one, so. Okay, that's it, thanks.
Thanks. Okay. We'll get you back, Rob.
Am I supposed to say something today or something? What is it?
I'll give you an update. I did reach out to Rick Detler to ask for a survey if we were to carve that parcel off. That was in your packet last time. I think we had looked at it this time. So we have reached out to him. He says he can do it. It'd be $2,200 to do that. That would be contingent on the sale of something before we have the survey done. But you all have this in front of you still? Yeah, so that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
They made an offer?
Well, they haven't made an offer because
So,
they don't know what the
Tom?
city,
Tom, you know what, I'm going to ask you to do the same thing.
okay, that's fine. I didn't know that I would actually have to do something, but that's fine. Tom Blount, 174 Palmer Street, if I have to give my address. Been in real estate 38 years, 39 years. Had a client come to me once to purchase the DDA's property, which is city-owned, but it's overseen by the DDA. It's listed at 995. He hasn't made an offer yet because what he wants to do is he wants to buy 150 Bancroft, but he wants to expand the building right around the same size as that small building that's there. He's got a really great idea to I can't disclose everything they're going to do, but it fits the zoning, so everything would do that. But he needs the section next to it. So I took Ed Prees over there, you met Ed Prees before over there. They just cut grass, so it costs the city money just to cut grass, and it's got that little part on the south side. So until we find out what the city would sell that little parcel for, the whole goal would be, and I talked to Rick Duffler, is when he splits that, it would become one parcel, 150, a different legal description, and one tax ID. It's just all in one. So he would purchase 150, those funds obviously would go towards the DDA, and then whatever small funds would go towards the vacant parcel so that he could expand that footprint. So I don't know if that helps you get a better idea. Any questions on that? Yeah, we just need a price, that's all.
Or again, is the board willing to consider selling that property, or are you, if you're strongly opposed to it, you're saying absolutely not, we're done. If you want me to start entering into negotiations and talking about the sale of the property, that's what we'll do.
Okay, so as I'm looking at the map here, the blue area is actually where the building is, right?
Yep.
Yes, the current building, yes.
And so that's owned by the DDA. So
Yes.
that would be up to the DDA as far as what they wanted to do as far as selling.
Well, they've already listed that property for sale, and my guy's willing to make an offer on that, but it's subject to being able to receive the other parcel to make it one.
I get it, but I'm just saying that, but the blue part is the DDA.
Right.
The green part,
Is city.
City property.
Correct.
Which the city property is really a pass-through there and grass to be cut. It's not parking, it's a pass-through from the alley on the south side of the building, and then there's a pass-through on the north side.
We wouldn't be losing any parking.
We're not losing any parking from the city standpoint. And we gain another taxpayer, because the DDA doesn't pay any taxes.
I'd like to explore it and go ahead, if it's reasonable.
Is that?
That building has been a kind of an eyesore. We've had trouble renting it, it's always too small for everything. And if we put it as a tax building in the city, we're ahead of the game.
It is presently occupied by a renter.
Yeah,
Right, but it's not, yeah, and she knows she has to move, and we're trying to work out the deal to where she could stay till the end of what her season would be. But that's all in negotiations, once we find out if the city's willing to take a look at that small piece, and what is that little small piece worth, which isn't, I just want to let you know, it's not road frontage property, it's a parking lot grass, so, and it's not very big. So, we just need to know if the city would allow us to look at the opportunity to sell it, and what would you want? You want your money back on your, funds that you're gonna pay to split it, or it doesn't matter? We just need to know. Otherwise, we'll just take them someplace else.
what does everybody else think? Are you interested in looking?
I'm with Commissioner Davis on this. I think it would be a great idea if we get a new taxpayer on the record. It's less liability for us. We don't have to maintain that little bit, like give it to them, or however they do it with the lot. Want to mow the grass there, right? So it saves cost and time for public works. Why not? Let's figure out what is it worth? What can we get back out of it? And then what can his buyer do?
Okay, what does everybody else think?
Greg, without,
I would actually say,
without surveying it though, how do we know exactly
we have to survey it before we sell it.
where it starts or ends?
Well, again, we already know where our property ends. Basically,
Yeah.
all of our property to the south is what we're talking about.
It goes all the way to the backside of 213 East
And-
3rd.
And if you look at the picture, it basically mirrors the
It
property that's
almost,
already there.
yeah, my estimation, it might be a little smaller than what the footprint is of 150, but it might be right on. Rick Duffler would pin the corners and then separate it, make it one parcel, all subject to if the terms are met, and then he would do it. It's kind of like you're not closing beforehand, but the deposit would be given to guarantee the $2,200, and then whatever. But he's not gonna close on it if he can't have the property. He just needs to expand it.
Okay, Joe?
Go ahead. You have something, Joe?
yeah, to me, it's tax revenue coming in. And so doing that, definitely, we get an investor to come in there and take care of that. So, yeah,
You interested?
yes.
How much of that is he gonna have to plow for winter time, how much does the city got?
He has to plow 4 parking spots in front of his thing, and then if he owns that, he has to plow the rest of that property that is then his and take care of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
So the current 4, then whatever,
Yeah.
that's expanding it to.
yeah.
yeah, so. And I would have to say, I don't know if I need to say this now, I would recuse recuse myself from any voting on it, even putting a price on it. But it's just my opinion of property on the backside of everything else and how small it is. I don't want you to think that even if you got an appraiser involved, it wouldn't even be worth paying an appraiser to give you a value for it, because it's not gonna be worth that much. I sell city lots for Port Huron they're bigger than that for less than $5,000 on Front Road. So, but you would have to do maybe somebody give you a broker opinion of value for free. I can't. I just can't do that.
Got it. Well, I think we're interested.
Okay.
Need a motion.
We'll start with the same price as the other building then?
Same price?
I just want to go on record and say, then you can have your building.
I move we continue to explore.
Okay. I don't know that we need a motion for that, just.
No, we're just gonna,
I think it's more so Craig figured out.
okay, great. Now moving on to 9B, Code of Ordinances, Chapter 94, Fire Prevention.
Yes. Keith Colbert, Fire Chief, Elmwood City. Basically coming back for the second reading last month, actually, we was there for the first reading. We talked about Chapter 94 amendments to actually add in the fire ordinance codes. And there's some questions from last meeting we talked through. I'm not sure if you guys have questions today you want to talk through. We'll kind of walk through what we're doing.
Questions?
I do believe Keith did some checking on the lock boxes for Commissioner Davis's questions. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I did talk to Knoxbox on finding the ability to buy multiple lock boxes. They can do that. Right now, I'm asking them, what price break do I get if I do that? So they're coming to get back to me that information. So they put me in another group to come up with that. But yes, when I first went there, they said, no, the Knox boxes are actually sold by address. They said they do, in fact, sell them to some departments and some cities, so they can buy them in bulk and then distribute them that way as well. They're more accessible that way than we usually get. So I'm asking, trying to get a price on what kind of reduction we're going to get from the list prices.
And didn't you think we only needed approximately 100 or so?
It's not that many that we really need. My system's even less than that.
Does that answer your question, sir?
Yeah, well, did you look at bulk price?
That's what he
We're
said.
working on getting a block price for you. So I'm waiting for a call back from their sales organization.
So we would buy them in bulk.
And then we would resell them,
Resell them for.
Our cost, yep.
at our cost, back to somebody that needs them, and then they would be more readily available at that point as well.
Give them the best deal we can.
They already come key. And the other concern about having firefighters assist, we were talking about with the group about how we would manage getting people to help out, and that would give them the knowledge of the buildings that they're going through as well, so they have the lay of the land.
They would be required to have it, so we know exactly how many to buy.
Oh, for the, yes, we can come up with a number.
Yeah, we come up with a number because we're not gambling.
I gotta get, when we go through the list of all the businesses, we'll figure out exactly who's required to have them, and we can come up with a.
Maybe a couple extra.
There might be some buildings that are under the 2,000 square foot.
Oh, yeah. Most should
That
all
will
be the same.
want, you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah. I'm worried about like industrial drive, all the buildings and that, those places like that where we.
Thank you.
So they're getting back with you on the amount,
Yeah, they are, they owe me a call back.
so it's, the 500 is not written in stone.
The 500,
That seems
no,
pretty
it's not, it's the price that they're offering on their site, but it's not written in stone. So I'm trying to negotiate it down.
Thank you.
We'll sell them for bulk price.
Any
Chief.
other questions?
Yeah, Chief, who installs those? Does the representative from the company come out? Is it the fire inspector?
We do not install them, we'll
It's up
either
to them.
provide them contact, or they can have their contact themselves. We prefer not to do that.
We define where they be in each building.
Yeah, there are requirements where they should be, and they have to be visible, and where they're supposed to be located on, and what can be in them, and stuff like that. The beauty is, the key that we have, when I've got keys for ourselves, the keys that we have will fit those boxes. And then we open it up, and we get whatever device that they have that opens their door.
Thank you.
I think Barb has some questions on containers at 1.2.
I did have a question, because, and I'm sorry I couldn't be here last time.
That's fine.
And so, when you said it said receptacles, I think, and I did not understand that you were talking about dumpsters.
Dumpsters.
Okay.
And they had to be a certain amount.
I was worried about everybody in the city having to replace their garbage cans and their, yes, no.
No, we're talking about dumpsters, they have to be a certain distance from the building, they have to have some sort of cover that's fire resistant, so just to make sure that everybody complies in that way.
I had visions of everyone having to replace their recycling containers, and so that was my vision, but
Well,
thank you
yeah.
for answering that.
My thought was all the trash receptacles that are on the street that are open, it's like, no, we're not talking about, it's just dumpsters. I think you need to find it.
Got it, thank you for answering that. Any other questions? So this is our second reading. I wasn't here last time, so what do we need to do?
We just need to approve a second reading, and then I did put the date of publication in because it does take effect on date of publication, so I wanted to make
Page
sure you're aware
32?
of it. Yep, page 32.
No vote is needed.
For a second reading,
Yes.
No
you really
vote
only
is
need
needed.
to read the first paragraph.
Okay, you need a motion to vote on it.
So just a motion to accept the second reading of,
So moved I move to accept, to move forward and approve after the second reading of the,
ordinance number
ordinance.
94-03.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, ordinance number 94.
Yeah, because the city planners actually updating the ordinance numbers, so it's amending current chapter 94.
You said we already had 2 on file, so this is number 3. That's where we
Okay.
got that number from. I spoke with Kate.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, your roll call.
Okay, Davis?
Yes.
Sempian?
Yes.
Ramirez?
Yes.
Cannis?
Yes.
Blount?
Yes.
DeLuca?
Yes.
Yaki?
Yes.
Thank you. I have work to do now.
Thank you for your work, Chief.
All right, number 10, A, new business, rezoning parcel, from R2 to R1.
Again, I don't know if either of you sit on planning want to talk about it, or I do, but basically what it is the Palmer House, they want to turn that into a bed and breakfast, and in order to qualify as a bed and breakfast, we have to rezone it from R2 to RM, and then, because there were a number of concerns with the RM, multifamily, we don't want that at some point turned into apartments, that the owner agreed to restrictions on the deed that will only allow it to be a bed and breakfast. It can't be used for anything other than what the standard R2 zoning allows, other than the bed and breakfast. Is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, we did, yep.
And so it was approved by planning,
Yes,
and so then it would need to be approved by us.
yes.
So the motion.
But were we just getting this like right now? Like I read this earlier, so they approved it, but
Planning approved it, but then it has to come to us for approval to rezone.
It's been reviewed.
do we have a map or anything?
I handed out a second little.
This one
handout.
here?
Yep, it's got a publication on the front, and then it has the application from the residents, and then it also has Caitlin Haven from Wayne Trim's recommendations, and then the map is right there too.
Was she the gal that was here a little bit ago?
Yes.
Yes, she's our planner.
We had a bed and breakfast that never got approved. I'm glad to go through the system here. John Lingerman had one, never got approved. So I'll make the motion to approve.
Hold on a second, let me see. Tom's looking, let's see if Tom has any questions.
Craig, how soon are they planning on doing this? Are they just waiting on the rezoning?
They figure they're gonna start in May. Because we asked that question at planning. But again, in order to be able to start in May, they need to start gearing up now. And that's why they needed this approval.
So, if I understand this map correctly, there is an RM1 across the street, correct?
The funeral home,
Funeral home.
How do they feel about it?
they're in favor, very much.
Well, I'm just saying you can't spot some, but as long as there's something across the street or contiguous, we're okay with it. That's,
Yeah,
that was all my
that very topic came up in the conversation.
Yeah, that was my concern, but there's enough around here, so we're going from RM2 to RM1.
Yes,
With the
With the
restriction.
restriction on the deed,
right.
no time element.
No,
Two restrictions.
So it stays.
Bed and breakfast
Okay.
only, and,
And registered.
Yeah,
registered.
well, sometimes restrictions have a expiration.
no.
Okay,
Savings.
I'm okay. It's not that I need to be okay, I just want a clarification, that's all.
And in the motion, it was going to be recorded with the registry of deeds, so that there was no confusion in the future with anybody coming and looking at it. They can actually find it right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's a great idea.
title would be fine.
I'm glad it fits where it needs to be. That's a unique house. If you've ever been there, that's a unique house. That'd be really cool.
So I believe Stu had a motion and need a second. I will second.
Oh,
Thank you. Yes, the motion was to rezone R3, North Main Street from R2 to RM1 with two restrictions.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what Stu said.
You should give our family a discount.
Okay, roll call please.
Davis,
Yes.
Sempian,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Blount,
yes.
Lockton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks. This is our second citizens from the floor. If anyone would like to speak? I guess not. All right. We do have a closed session, and so we need a motion to go to closed session for the purpose of discussing,
Labor negotiations
I'll make a motion
pursuant to
that we go
Section
to-
8 of the Open Meetings Act.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to go to private, closed session for labor.
Hold that.
lots of
Somebody real.
Okay. So I need a roll call to go into closed session at 7:31, please.
Yes.
Blount,
Yes.
Sempian,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.